Hey, what's going on everyone? Alex with the World of Whasian channel, and this right here is a Fluval Flex that I've been meaning to open for the longest time, and we are now getting to it. So we have a whole bunch of green neon Tetras that are in the 20-gallon long that I've been meaning to rehouse for quite some time now, and we are going to be creating a biotope inspired aquarium, single species tank. We're just going to have Tetras in here, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So this is my first time using a Fluval Flex, and there's a lot of reasons why I avoided buying these for quite some time, and we'll get more into that later. But without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open and see what we're working with. All right, we got the box right here. It's a big box. This is a Fluval Flex 15. So let's go ahead and open it up. This is the first time I've ever done an unboxing video. That's not true. So I'm actually really excited for this. This is my first time ever using a Fluval Flex. I'm excited to say the least. I've seen lots of stuff, but people really using these for biotope inspired aquariums, black water aquariums. And the reason why this tank is so good for that is because, well, for one, there's a black backdrop on this aquarium already. And the aquarium also looks cool. You know, it's got the curved glass on it, but the light in here is also not that powerful. It just makes it a great all-in-one aquarium for black water or, you know, botanical method aquarium use. So, yeah. Alright, here we go. We have it unboxed, and this is a lot curvier than I expected. This is awesome. I'm really excited. In here, as you can see, it came with a mat, like a leveling mat, because this is glass on the bottom. It is technically a rimless tank. As you can see back here, we have our sponge filter. We can pull that out. There's what looks like to be charcoal and some more media. And there is more space back here, obviously, and we'll probably put a lot more media back here for increased surface area. And over here is the lid, along with the power adapter and outflow. We can kind of bend it and adjust where the water goes. A remote, I guess you can change the color of the light on this thing. And obviously we have the pump, and then the light itself that's attached to the lid. And a lot of people who use this tank actually end up upgrading this light. They'll put their own lights in here because this, from what I've heard, is just simply not bright enough for a lot of high-tech solutions. But for this particular instance, this light will suffice because we are doing a dark water build. There we go. It's got a little remote here. Alright, so it's been a few days. I've been kind of sitting on this project for a little bit. First things first, the lid is not on the aquarium right now. Reason being is the light is attached to the lid. So when I want to access it, I have to take the lid off. When we take the lid off, you can't see what's going on in here because I'm filming a video, obviously, and I want you to be able to see what's going on here. So when I take the lid off, I also take the light with it. So there are ways to prop the lid up, but I just figured for the sake of accessibility, I will be using this light bar for now. So just full disclaimer, that's kind of what's going on here. And as you can see, we also have our driftwood in here. This is sandblasted manzanita wood sent to us by Ben over at Beta Botanicals, which is a huge supporter of this channel. More on them later, but yep, that's what's going on in here. So we are going to take this piece of driftwood out, and I'm going to get some substrate in here, so let's get after it. Here we go. So this right here is what I call the blend, if you will. This is basically leftover sand from previous projects. So I pretty much never throw away sand when I tear down tanks. That being said, I don't go out of my way to sift sand from the rocks either. And so basically this is just a blend of a variety of different sands from different projects all thrown into one bin, kind of mixed together. As you can see, there's aqua soil, there's leca in here, there's some small pieces of gravel, and this stuff, I actually typically keep it a little damp as well. So this actually makes for a great starter in an aquarium because there is bound to be some beneficial bacteria in here still. And there's also a lot of nutritional benefit as well. There are some little bits of aqua soil in here and such. And once that was all said and done, we ended up with this. The look of a slow-moving stream that may branch off from a much bigger river. That's kind of the look I was going for. Alright everyone, so right now we are doing the initial flood. This is, I want to say, 4 parts RO water and 1 part, or what am I saying? About like 4/5 of this will be RO water, and then we'll have the remaining 5th, about 2 gallons of tap water. And that's kind of what I do during the initial fill up. I'm not too worried about the water chemistry just yet. Just want to get the cycle going. And while that's going, we're just going to kind of wait and see what goes on in the tank. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and fill this up. And next time I decide to do anything, I'll be sure to keep the camera rolling. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Pardon the interruption, I'm currently in the midst of doing some cable management and overhauling this space for the Raspberry Riverway. We moved the canister filter here, and DJ Mustard's tank I moved to the fish bench over there. But yeah, this was long overdue. The cable management back here was really bad, and I had cables and canister filter tubing kind of intertwined, and it was just not good. Do not do this. Do not, you know, if you can, separate your canister filter from the majority of your electrical stuff. But yeah, I got the canister filter, I moved it away from the outlet, so now we are getting to the bottom of cable management. And if you know me personally, you're probably thinking, cable management? When your boy Alex has these horrendous floodlights on instead of the mood lighting, that's how you know I really mean business. I am not messing around, everyone. Holy. Alright, so right now I am arranging the power strip. I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm just using these Velcro command strips so I can, you know, kind of have like a quick release mechanism, if you will. So, yeah. I'm just going to fasten these to the top of this bottom portion. Yes! We finally cleaned up this corner, and this is looking so much better. Is that like... Oh, there we go. Yeah. And now for the mood lighting. Mood lighting commence. So I think it's safe to say that I'm actually finally happy with the way that this wall looks. It's a lot better, and I can actually see what's going on. All right, let's get back to the Fluval Flex. So one thing I've learned is filming the Fluval Flex is actually kind of difficult because the glass is curved. This image is technically in focus, but because of the curvature, it's kind of it's a little tough, I should say. Also, I should add that this aquarium has sort of that of a prism effect. As you can see, this is casted onto the floor. I think it looks pretty cool. So it's been about 2 weeks since the initial fill-up of water, and as you can see, there's biofilm everywhere. Biofilm is indicative that an ecosystem is in fact getting established in here, and it is a totally normal and acceptable thing, especially when you're starting up an aquarium. Simply put, biofilm is basically just a bunch of microorganisms kind of just stuck together, and when you're starting up an aquarium, you get an influx of it because there is lots of ammonia in the aquarium, ideally, or in other words, all this microlife that is chewing on and chowing down on that freshly introduced ammonia, and as a result, this ecosystem is now getting balanced, and pretty soon we'll see this biofilm kind of start to dissipate. And as you can see here, there are brown algae diatoms all over the glass here. Totally acceptable, and it's totally to be expected. Alright, so we have our plants picked out for this tank. We have Crypt Wenty Brown, which is a plant that I pretty much use in all of my aquariums, especially that of botanical method aquariums. This plant just looks so natural, and it looks great with pretty much anything. And that's because of the wide variety of color that you see on the leaves here. I think it just really works with any color palette that you're working with, and that's why I really like it. Moving on from the crypt, we have some Achnodorus here. This is grandifolia, I believe. It's like a small little Amazon sword. That's kind of what it looks like. And this should do relatively well in here. These are huge root feeders, and I think along with the botanicals breaking down, this should be a great contender for this aquarium. So will this outcompete the crypts? We will see. So that should be interesting to see. And last but not least, we have some Hygrophila angustifolia, and this is a plant that I really like because it has really long, narrow leaves. It kind of looks like Java fern, but on a stem, and that's why I really like it. And what's cool about these plants is that they grow really tall, and they adapt to their environments really well. So in botanical method aquariums, a lot of plants get smothered by all the leaf litter, but Hygrophila angustifolia just wants to grow as high as it can, and it just looks really cool when you have all this leaf litter, and then you have Hygrophila just piercing through all of the organic matter and just into the light. I think it's just a super cool look. And there we have it. We already have some greenery in here. This is looking a lot better already. Let's go ahead and keep planting the others. And all of these plants in here actually propagate relatively quick. So I'm not really going for any rhythm here necessarily. I mean, I put the tallest plant on the far right to kind of go along with the driftwood here, but all of these plants will kind of propagate and just kind of fill in the space in moments time. So I'm not thinking too hard about the placement. And lastly, we have our Hygrophila angustifolia, and I think this is actually the first time I've ever used this on this channel. So I've always been a big fan of this plant, but I don't think I've ever actually used it in one of my videos before. Well, here we have it. The Fluval Flex is finally populated with plants. I think this looks so much better, and it's only going to get better from here. Obviously, this aquarium is still in the biofilm and brown algae stage, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. Alright, so we put a pretty sizable chunk into this project thus far, and I think it's looking a lot better with all the greenery in there. I think the plant selection really complements what we're going for, which is a biotope inspired look. We have plants and hard goods from all over the world in here, so it's not technically a regional biotope, but we're just going for that natural look. So while it does look more natural than it did before, what's missing is some organics on the bottom because, well, an ecosystem like this in the wild would have lots of organic matter on the bottom that is decaying and providing food for all the microorganisms in here. So, things like leaf litter, seed pods, those kind of things that you would normally see in the actual real world, right? So that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and introduce to this aquarium. All right, we are here at the marketplace within my fish room. This is just a shelf where I keep all of my hardscape rocks and botanicals, obviously, and these are all from Beta Botanicals. For those of you who don't know, they're a big supporter of this channel, and they provide a lot of the hardscape that we use. They provide all of the botanicals that we use, obviously, everything from leaf litter to tea bags for retinting water to seed pods such as cacao pods and monkey pods, sterculia pods, all that good stuff to make your ecosystem look as if it's a slice of nature and you're seeing it in the wild. So that's what we're going to be doing. We have this bag here from Meta Botanicals. This is a black water variety pack and has everything that we need to take this Fluval Flex to the next level and make it look as natural as it can possibly be. So let's go ahead and crack this open, get it prepared, and I'll show you what's going on in here. So aside from being just an aesthetic choice, this provides lots of tannin properties, which lowers the pH of the water, which a lot of the fish in this hobby actually prefer. So we will be putting green neon tetras in here, and they do prefer a lower pH. So this is going to be highly optimal for what we were trying to accomplish here. Alright, so we're waiting for our water to boil, and as you can see, we have a wonderful assortment. We have lots of bamboo leaves and what appears to be some mango leaves as well. So it's a beautiful assortment. And you can see in the bag as well, we have lots of pieces of bark, I think it's coconut bark and husks in here. And yeah, this will be great to add into our aquarium. Water chemistry aside, botanicals also provide a lot of additional surface area as well, which is great for your biological filtration. So that's also another added plus. Alright everyone, so it's now the next day. Took a moment to let the botanicals cool down. They are completely drained and they should be prepared now. So as you can see right now, this aquarium is, we have a white light in there and it's very bright, and that is about to change very soon. It's going to become rather tinted in there, I'm fairly certain. So we're not going to be too methodical about how we go about this. We're just going to kind of dump everything in here and let the flow of the water kind of do its thing. So I think this aquarium is looking absolutely stunning already. I love the way it looks. I think it looks super natural, and the water is already starting to get tinted a little bit. I just want to add a little bit of something over here. So let me show you what I got. So we have this nice simple piece of oak twig here. It's a nice little branch, and we're going to put it in this way, and I think it'll complement the composition rather nicely. Alright everyone, it's been a long time coming, but this aquarium is finally cycled. It's important to mention that there is additional media in the overflow in the back that I had from another aquarium setup, so that definitely helped out a lot. Because for those of you who don't know, when you start a botanical method aquarium like this, you get a surge of ammonia, and actually for that reason, when you're adding botanicals to an aquarium that already has fish in it, you never want to put this many in all at once. And the main reason why I went crazy here was because, well, there was no livestock in here, so I figured let's just get it all said and done straight away, and that's why we've been waiting for quite some time now. I would say this maybe took around, I want to say 2 months to finally get cycled from the time that we put the substrate in there to now. Things are looking really good in here. The Hygrophila angustifolia is actually growing quite a bit, and Major is here. And he's screaming because he wants my attention. I think he actually wants dinner. Hey Major, say hi. Major. Major, look. And he's looking at the Fluval flax. He's actually really excited. So anyway, the Hygrophila angustifolia in here is doing really well. The crypts are coming up. And then the Echinodorus grandfolia in here as well is also growing quite a bit. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to go get the green neon tetras out of the 20-gallon long holding tank, and we're going to get them in here. So I'm super excited, and we're kind of getting all the fish in their selective homes, and I'll be able to tear down that 20-gallon long and actually do something with it. Alright, so we are currently drip acclimating the green neon tetras. They are extremely skittish. They were actually really difficult to catch. But yep, we have them all in here. And people have been asking me how I drip acclimate. Basically, it's just this tubing here, this silicone tubing, and I clamp it to the top of the tank. And then I just tie a little knot in the tubing to allow me to control the drip. So we're going to wait for the water volume in here to double or perhaps triple, and then yeah, we should be good to add these into the Fluval Flex. Well everyone, it's about time to wrap up this video. We went ahead and we put the green neon tetras in here, and they're really skittish, they're a little stressed out. So we're gonna go ahead and give them a night or so. I'm gonna turn off the light, and we are going to try to lure them out tomorrow with some food, and we'll see how that goes. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all found it relaxing. And as always, let me know what you might want to see next with this aquarium. And as always, I'll be sure to keep you all posted on the direction that this aquarium goes in. So that is it from me, and I'll see you on the next one.